Janice, give me Chris Rock, Selective Outrage.
Yes, sir.
Beyonce is so fine that if she worked at Burger King, she could still marry Jay-Z.
Chris Rock slams strong and independent women. Beyonce could marry Jay-Z working at Burger King. Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. The beautiful thing about good comedy is that it represents the truth. Now, of course, we laugh it off because it's funny, but a lot of things he's been talking about on his show are really serious and could get you in trouble if you take it for granted. Chris Rock got burned and he learned the hard way. Let's talk about it. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we?
Women have all the power. My ex-wife is the smartest woman I know. She got just as much money as me. Ain't funny at all.
Chris Rock is a great example of why you need to protect yourself at all times. His prenuptial agreement expired after being married to his ex-wife for 18 years. They didn't renegotiate the terms but divorced 2 years later, which made things worse because they were married for 20 years. This means that alimony payments could be permanent forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. And we're not talking about breadcrumbs, brothers.
Tell me, Chris, you are now touring again, and it's been like 9 years since.
It's been a while, yes.
You did this.
Been a minute.
What made you do it again?
What made me do it again? I got divorced and lost all my money.
So
I gotta give her 30% of that sip I just took.
Chris Rock has a net worth of $60 million. Divorce has made many women millionaires, and some even made the billionaires list. His ex-wife wanted to maintain the lifestyle she enjoyed during the marriage, and Chris Rock has to pay for it. Like he said, she's not doing the work, and she is receiving millions of dollars as his ex-wife. And you know what's funny? Women will claim to be strong and independent, taking alimony. Check this out.
Goodness, Mark,
everybody has to make himself or herself
You're
happy.
giving me such a bloody headache. Yeah, I mean, where are you from? Where are you from? Dear Lord, I would never in a million years teach my girls that they have to grow up to be reliant on a man, as you can well imagine. I would never teach my son that he should be attracted.
But Tracy, you're the same one. You're the same one who bragged that she's so strong and so tough and doesn't need a man's money. Yet you're taking alimony.
I have 3 children.
Okay, Mark.
You know what?
So, but you don't need a man's money.
This is a Manosphere classic. Fellas, guard your own wallets.
Nothing more powerful than female beauty. Nothing. Just look at Beyonce. She's extremely talented. But even with all that talent, ain't nothing more powerful than the beauty.
Beauty is not talent, brothers. Beauty is not talent because it's not something that a person can acquire through skill or practice. Beauty is primarily determined by physical characteristics such as facial symmetry, bone structure, and other genetic factors, which are largely outside of a person's control. Same thing goes for height. You cannot teach height. You cannot go to the gym and grow taller. Pay attention.
Beyonce is so fine that if she worked at Burger King, she could still marry Jay-Z. She could still get her a billionaire, great rapping businessman. She is so fine that if she worked at Burger King, she could still marry Jay-Z. Now, if Jay-Z worked at Burger King...
Facts! This is why a lot of women just show up because that's all they need to do to attract men and to get what they want. Look at Brittany Renner. Her DMs were filled with blue checks. Now she's not doing too good because she's considered damaged goods. A lot of women fall into depression because they're not able to attract the men that they used to attract before they hit the wall. Now the women that did not win the genetic lottery and can't attract a high-value man try to make themselves more desirable with college degrees and high-paying jobs. We do not care about that. Beauty and femininity. It's always been like that. We are not intimidated by these so-called strong and independent women. We are not attracted to them. Men don't give a rat's ass if you work at Burger King. It's not about your money.
No, no, no. Women got the power. And by the way, that is not a Jay-Z diss. I do not need another rapper mad at me, okay?
Speaking about dissing Jay-Z, Nas made a classic Jay-Z diss track called Ether. And he said something interesting that relates to what Chris Rock was talking about. Jay-Z is not considered the most handsome dude, but he has the status. He has the money, the resources. He definitely brought a lot of value to Beyonce. If he worked at Burger King, he would not just be invisible to Beyonce. He would be invisible to 90-95% of these women. So a man's achievements will definitely attract a lot of these parasites. And that's why you need to protect yourself at all times. Because that's how this game works.
Y'all, please stop letting hating men and women bully you out of finding and wanting to be with a rich man. There is literally no award for suffering. And being with a rich man is lit. Like, you're not stressed out. You can focus on yourself. You get to do one-in-a-lifetime experiences. And worst case scenario, if you get played, at least you get a good return on your investment. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't. So my problem with this man has presumed I've done nothing with my life, all because I said you should date a rich man, when in reality I'm a double-barred attorney, but whatever, that doesn't matter. What matters is that men pick and choose when they believe in gender roles. So they believe in gender roles when it's time for you to take their last name and erase your entire lineage. They believe in gender roles when it's time for you to cook and clean and take care of the kids. But then they don't believe in gender roles when it's time to financially provide for you. Then suddenly I'm a leech. How does that make sense? I'm gonna give you 3 questions to ask in order to figure out if he has a provider mentality, because if he doesn't, next. So I had a really hard time dating, and contrary to popular belief, I feel like sometimes the more educated and successful you are as a woman, the harder it is. And that was exactly my life. Like, I'm smart, I'm educated, I have a doctorate, working on another, and just made so much money. But for whatever reason, I would go on dates with men and constantly be stuck in the provider role, and they were just taking from me. And I didn't really understand why. So I came up with these 3 questions to kind of be able to weed them out right away, because I did not have time to waste and I was running out of energy. And depending how these men would respond to these comments that I would make, I would be able to tell what their mentality was. So the first one was, I would say, I believe in traditional gender roles. Now, women like to quickly combat that with saying, oh, but if you contribute, I'm down to equally contribute. Do not say that, okay? You don't need to give him a caveat. You're gonna lower his expectations and see how he responds to primarily being the provider.
Women don't love men for who they are. Women love men for what they can do for them. We are human doings. That's why her money is her money and your money is her money too. That's the red pill truth, brothers. Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.